I was doing this. Well, what if I did Can I go back and just answer it and show you my?
I've already collected it.
No, I'm saying like I'm gonna just show you my calculator.
Okay. But you can also just talk about it when we go over it together right now.
No, cause I'm a mental, like I'm a visual. I have to look at it.
Okay. So
She did it on phone.
most of us.
I'm trying to do my work.
Jake,
But no, I was. Come on.
how long have we been in class?
No, I'm saying
How
I
long have we
was
been in
just.
class?
You know, I was just looking at it. I was gonna do my work and I was gonna show you.
Hold on. You say you're fixing to do your work.
Like I was in the middle of doing the problems, and I was doing the problems. It don't matter. I was still doing it.
Stop arguing.
Like it wasn't even that deep, bro. On God, it wasn't.
Why are you getting an attitude right now?
Bro, do the work, bro. I was doing the problem. When I'm trying to do the work, you chill. I was literally in the middle of doing the wrong problem. I was solving it. On the last question, I was solving it. I was gonna do the work and show you on my calculator.
Okay, it's been 10 minutes
Alright, okay.
for 3 questions. We should be done.
I ain't even deep.
I really don't even know what you're saying
Alright,
right
okay, then, okay. Leave it alone.
now. I need you to step outside and come back in there.
My mama ain't gonna come in. You tripping? Oh God. Come on, this ain't even sweet.
So, most of us made this much harder than it had to be. All I asked was, is this point a solution? I saw people trying to solve it, use inverses, properties of inequalities, things like that. But what is the question asking? Is it a solution? What does that mean, Robert?
Plug it in.
That is not what that means. It may be what you do, but that's not what I'm asking. If I ask, is it a solution, what does that mean?
Does it make the, what is that
I
called?
asked Robert, do you agree with that? That is, I'm asking, does it make the inequality true?
Yeah.
You need to remember and fundamentally always think about this. If I ask you, is it a solution? All you have to do is, does it make the equation or does it make the inequality true? That's it. We are way too far in. This should take less than a minute to complete.
Is it true or false? I'm trying to make a couple $3 right
Well, we got 8 truths, we got 7 falses.
What you got for it?
Okay, so I substituted 5 in for x, I substituted 2 in for y. What am I
15
doing at
minus
this point? Huh?
15 minus 8.
15 minus 8.
And that's 7 greater than 7. That's false because 7 is not greater than
What do y'all think about that? Is 7 greater than 7?
7. No, they're equal.
They are equal, but
Put
is
that
it
money on the
greater?
table, boy.
Is it greater? Is it greater? No. So that is false. Caleb, you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will point this out. If I had made it greater than or equal to, would that be a solution now? Right? Notice if it had been greater than or equal to through here, 5, 2 would be a solution. It's an important distinction, but the question is, does it make the inequality true? Do not make it more difficult than that. Alright? This is an important skill that we are working on today. I know that, and I told y'all, if you were struggling on 1.2, and I really should have put this at the end, but if you're struggling with 1.2, skip it and come back. This is what we did with lessons 8 and 9. This is what we should have done our homework on that was due today. Hey, you're getting attitude. It was time. You can't. But do you, how long did you want me to wait?
Man, how you raise my name? What's wrong with
What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
Alright, this is what we should have been doing from lessons 8 and 9. We should know how to do this. I know that we're still struggling with it, but I also need you to understand that we are testing this week. The goal is to test Thursday. We will not, what do you mean Thursday? How long have we been studying this?
We've been going on
Not
a lot.
with it.
This is, we've already done 2 full weeks of this. On a period system that we did last year, that's 4 weeks of learning.
One of those got a problem like
You have,
that. They got about 6 different variables.
and nothing has changed. Look at this was literally, something like this was on your quiz. What am I asking you to solve for? H. By the way, when you're working through these warm-ups, could you have gotten your lessons out that we've worked through during this class?
So you asked me to solve for 8, right?
H. A, we already know what A is equal to. I want to know what is H equal to. You could have gotten your lessons 8 and lesson 9 out. Lessons 9 out. Use your old notes. I cannot emphasize this enough. You can be phenomenal at math, but I will say, like, sometimes your use of resources and just being a student is what's hurting your ability to learn. You give up on yourself before you really give yourself a shot. Use your resources. I want this h on its own. What do I need to do? I see one response that was very close. I'm not telling you yet. Just a little bit of the notation is what I'm not a huge fan of, but huh? This, what is it, 0 up here?
I think so.
Look, what can I do to solve for h? First off, what does it mean to solve for that variable?
Basically like making equation.
I already have an equation.
Like, I was trying to think of the correct math term that you want me to use.
It's not that I want you to use. What is the correct math term? I'm asking you to solve for h. If you're struggling with this, get lessons 8 and 9 out now and look at your notes because we defined this before we moved on from those units.
Do the script crop.
No. Devin, Braden, Mia, Caroline, notes out. Brianna, Brandon, I don't know if you were here, but try to look for it. Y'all, I should not have to call you out. When I say get your notes out, look at your notes. You should have somewhere where it says solve for and you defined it. And if you don't, that's a problem. It should be somewhere in lesson 9. You ready to come in? You need to make a decision to come in or get out now. Come on, baby. Come on. It should be somewhere in lesson 9, it may be somewhere in lesson 8, but we should have it defined what it means to solve for a variable. Anybody? Should it probably be on the second or third page of lesson 9? Or at least some examples where we have solved for that variable? What you got, Kelsey?
That variable needs to be equal to an expression.
That variable alone needs to equal an expression.
Can you see that there? I got my lesson.
Should be somewhere in lesson 9.
It is.
Bree and Nathan. Come on, focus. There's a second page for lesson 9, Bree. So what is the issue right now? Why do I know that I have not solved for h? It's not equal to something. That's it. What is with the h that I need to get rid of?
Oh, I see.
Say it, Mavis. What's with that h that I need to get rid of?
So, so what's with the h that you need to do?
Yes, if we're going to solve for a variable, that variable alone needs to be equal to an expression. So what's with the h that I need to get rid of?
And what's with?
That's an operation. Multiplication by what?
Yeah, B1.
So what can I do to get rid of multiplication by b1 plus b2?
Divide.
Divide. Because what is anything divided by itself?
1.
Even though it's an ugly expression, it's just going to make a 1. So, A divided by B1 plus B2 is equal to 1/2 H. I mean, do I know what H is equal to?
No. Yeah.
1/2 9.
Well, I know what 1/2 of H is. Do I know what H is equal to?
No. So you're not done.
I'm not done. What do I need to do?
Divide by the half.
I can divide by a half or what? It's going to be easier to multiply by what? Well, I'm solving for this H.
Multiply by
What am I dividing by?
B1. Oh, 2.
I'm dividing by 2. Yes, you can divide by a half, but dividing by a fraction is a pain in the butt. Instead, multiply by the reciprocal. Because what is 2 divided by 2? That's 1. So I'm still creating that 1 right there.
So it'll be 2. So 8 is equal to 2.
H is equal to 2 times the area divided by base 1 plus base 2. That's just, all I'm asking is, can you isolate that variable? Can you solve to get that variable equal to an expression? You gotta know that for the test. We'll have some more practice with that, but you gotta know how to do that. Well, we did all this, and that's what the homework was on, and you should clean that up and throw it away. This is the whole reason why I don't let food in class.
Is there 2 children?
Ooh. Thank you. The point of the homework was for you to practice that and come in and ask questions about it last week. Did you do your homework ahead of time so that you could ask questions last week?
Yeah, my homework was on. I didn't have no questions in my brain.
Well, it sounds like you should have. If we didn't know how to do this, because this was all throughout it. So, Frank started the summer with $475 and spends roughly $50 a week on food and entertainment, but he wants at least $200 left
I forgot my variable.
at the end of the summer. Write a mathematical statement that represents the situation. I only see one that even comes close to addressing what type of mathematical statement this should be. Does anyone know which response has the type of mathematical statement? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's an expression, so it shouldn't be an equation or an inequality.
Yes. They asked for a
Does it ask for an equation?
statement. A statement.
It asks for a mathematical statement. Where up here should we see information about what type of mathematical statement it should be? Where do you see within the word problem what type of mathematical statement it should be?
Yeah.
At
It says at least.
least.
So what type of mathematical statement should that be? Not an expression. What do you think? Huh? He needs at least $200 left. Does it say he wants exactly 200 left? Nope. It says he wants at least $200 left. Is 300 at least 200? Robert, is 300 at least 200?
Yeah.
Yes. If it's at least 300, that means or if it's at least 200, that means 200 or what?
Or
Or
more.
more. Thank you. So, would it be 475 minus 50W is less than or equal to 200? Nope. It'd be greater than or equal to. We need to be aware of that. I have a lot of ideas that are similar in here. I would assume that's supposed to just be minus, not times. But let's talk about this right here. 475 times x plus 50 equals 200. If you are multiplying, what does that mean? Repeatedly add. Okay? Is the 475 what's repeatedly happening there?
No.
No. Okay? It's the 50.
Per week.
Do we need to add 475 and 50?
No.
You need to
Subtract.
Why is it subtracting and not adding?
He's being.
He spends, so he spends some money, it's
Right.
subtract.
He's spending. He has $475 and he is taking $50 away from that every single week. Okay? What is the issue with this mathematical statement? We already know it's supposed to be greater than or equal to.
There's no mirror.
Okay, there's no variable and it's not repeatedly happening, right? How many times have we taken away that 50?
And then say, I forgot my birthday.
We're supposed to be every week,
Why you talking?
but is that every week? No. That's taking away 50 one time. So we need to make sure that we pay attention to that. So we had a couple of us actually do that one right there. But do notice, right, we can't just have an expression. That's a great expression to get us started, but the whole thing is he wants at least $200 left. So greater than or equal to 200. I told y'all this starting last week. Inequalities are important because inequalities are usually how we represent ideas in the real world. It is very rare that it's like, oh man, I want exactly $200. If I want to buy an Xbox, one of the new ones, how much money do I need? I know someone in here plays Xbox, right?
PS game.
I know y'all, do none of the guys in here play Xbox? Nobody? Oh my gosh, okay, so give me something that you do, that you need money for. Okay, let's say this, you want to put gas in your car. For me, right now, it's about $60 a tank. So I need at least $60. Because if I have $60, I can fill up. But could I fill up if I have $70?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Could I fill up if I have $100?
Yeah.
Yes. Could I fill up if I only have 50?
No.
No, right? Notice this is why inequalities are important, because it's not that you need exactly that amount of money usually, or exactly that quantity. You need more than that much or more, or that much or less, right? So those are the things we want to think about and why we're studying these inequalities. The inequalities are the last thing that we're going to study. I'm going to grade your lessons 8 and 9 homework and give y'all some chances to ask questions tomorrow.
That's it.
Huh? Today? Yeah, always. Alright. You should already have lesson 20 from last week. Please go ahead and get that out for me. Not the cumulative questions, the lesson 20, it looks like, huh? It's got a gas thing on there,
Come on, bro.
or a lawnmower,
Yeah,
I
my
mean.
crib. I'm there.
Yes, that's it, it's got a
Now,
lawnmower on
I'm not
there.
kidding. We're all people
Oh,
today.
yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you should have something with a lawnmower. Right.
Oh my. It makes me sometimes. When you feel like it. We're gonna let me get on there. We're gonna go get on
There we go.
And it writes me up.
Okay? So this is what it looks like. It says lesson 20, writing and solving inequalities in one variable. Should have a lawnmower. Does anyone else need a copy of lesson 20? Going once.
Let me
You need a copy?
Let me get one. Yeah.
Lord, the feet ain't need.
Brandon, you weren't here last Friday, were you? Alright. Good luck, that's the last copy I have. Roger. Oops, sorry.
We got two.
Yeah, 2 pages. Okay. The only thing on our agenda for the rest of today is to work on lesson 20, writing and solving inequalities in one variable. Tomorrow you'll get a chance to ask questions about that lesson 20 from the homework. You also have time to ask questions about lessons 8 and 9 because it looks like we need some help on how to solve for a variable. Thanks, Bree. Can you read our first objective for us?
I can analyze the stress of an inequality in one variable to help determine if the solution is greater or less than the solution to the related equation.
So, this is something we have not done yet, but I want you to notice what I'm showing is that there is a relationship between inequalities and what else?
Well, I mean, inequality and equality.
Inequalities and equations, right? There are some special rules that come into play when you have inequalities. However, there's a way to make it much easier if you deal with equations instead. So we're going to address that today. Devin, can you read our second objective for us, please?
I can write and solve inequalities to answer the question about the situation.
Okay, real world situations and context. We need to be able to write inequalities for it because it can make our ability to answer the questions much easier. If I remember correctly, we wrapped up 20.1 on Friday, correct? We did all the stuff with the dinner for the drama club for those of us that were here and kept our notes. We finished up everything on 20.1, lesson 20.
Yeah, I kept my notes.
Okay. Great.
Oh, yes, I got it.
So did we? I think we even finished this one about the gasoline in the tank.
They ain't started.
We did not start the gasoline in the tank? Okay. So, Han is about to mow some lawns in his neighborhood. His lawnmower has a 5-gallon fuel tank, but Han is not sure how much gasoline is left in the tank. Okay?
Dang, so,
Han is not sure about, huh? Han is not sure how much gasoline is in the tank. He knows, however, that the lawnmower uses 0.4 gallons of gasoline per hour of mowing. So what are all the possible values for X, the number of hours that Han can mow without refilling the lawnmower? Please notice, that does not say you need to create an equation or an inequality or anything like that to get started. It says afterwards write one or more inequalities. Can you create an inequality right here? Good talk. Yes, you can create an inequality. What are some other representations that you can use though?
they ain't supposed to.
Bree, what did you use on the quiz? You didn't
A
create,
table.
use a table. Can we create a table here?
Yep.
Yeah? Because how many gallons of gas do you know does he start with? 5. And every hour he uses up how much? 0.4 gallons. You can use that to help you figure out the answer for this. You can also create an inequality. You can also just think about it logically, but we need to try to answer these questions to help us start to understand inequalities better. We ready to get started?
Yes.
Let's get to work.
Left.
Yeah, I need you staying off your watch.
She's trying to get the time.